about how to not get rocked. 12 security best practices. So, first of all, I want to say that all in this presentation is only my opinions and not the opinions on Cello. So, first of all, those are my handles, 0x Nestor everywhere, Twitter, Lens, ETH, ENS, whatever. So, first, guys, who has been rocked? Okay. And could any one of you tell me what is a rock pool? Like one definition. Anyone? Maybe? One definition about what is a rock pool? But you say you were rocked, right? Yeah. Do you want to say it? No? Okay. So the thing is that everyone think and agree on the idea of being rocked, but it's hard to define it because it will vary by definition or by perception of every person. So that's the thing. What is the meaning of rock pool? Scam? Okay. What else? Just scam? And why not? Why don't we use just scam and we use rock pool? Me neither. So that's the thing. Just ask you guys about, hey, let's think about that word. And I have one exercise that I just created one poll in Twitter. It's just click it, and it's a Twitter poll that is going to ask you about the presentation that I'm going to do here, about trying to do a definition about what is a rock pool. It's just that. And I want your opinion on that. So for that, let me go here. So based on the research that I did about what is a rock pool, people think in two ways. First, it's a loss due to project execution or due to an externality. First, what do I mean by externality? I mean, like, you have one asset, right? ERC20, ERC721, it's up to you, and then it drops. Why? Because probably an externality. And for that, as a security best practice, if you want to avoid get affected by that, you will need to keep up to date with macro events. Like, I don't know, like news about a recession, an armed conflict. Probably that is going to affect the project you are into based on that externality. Also, another security best practice is to keep a reduced number of illiquid assets. Why? Because in an externality, what could happen if you have a lot of NFTs, those are going to be illiquid, and it's going to be hard to trade them. So one security best practice is don't just own everything in NFTs, for example. Then other people think that a rock pool is a loss due to a project execution. And also, people are very vague on that. Like, okay, what does that mean? What is a bad project execution or something wrong with that? So two things that I have found is that a rock pool is a loss due to project execution because of the progress of commitment or an arbitrary manipulation of code or tokenomics. If we go to the first one, progress of commitment, I have 5 security best practices. First is analyze, of course, the project you are into and have reasonable expectations. I mean, if a project offers you on 1,000% APY, really? Is that true? Probably no. Then another thing is look for a project with a clear roadmap. It's not like, okay, we are going to build the next Tesla. Okay, how? It's going to look good, but it's not too clear. So look for a clear roadmap on a project. The third one is about understand the culture foundation of the project. And what do I mean by that? If you join a project that it's only about the hype, probably that's, I don't know, it's going to be up to you, but that's the kind of vibe you're going to find. Then fourth is the dog said the better. Because in a nutshell, if you are trusting a project that is not docs, that they are anonymous, I mean, I could create 10 Twitter accounts and create one NFT collection and say, I have the best 10 developers of smart contract in this NFT collection. And those are 10 wallets. 10 wallets created with 10 Twitter accounts, and it's just one person. So if it's not docs, at the end, it's like, how can you claim a lack of delivery? To whom? To how many? You don't know at the end. A fifth one. The more battle tested the community is, the better. The downside of this is that, of course, a community that has been in the downs and the ups probably have a higher perception of value at that point because they have been tested, battle tested. And then the next one is about the definition of some people thinking that a rug pull is a loss due to a project execution because of the arbitrary manipulation of code or tokenomics. And for that, we advise as a security best practice. I advise as a security best practice to first understand the tech. And why do I mean by that? Is understand what is the difference between a hot and a cold wallet and use both wisely. I mean, you could have one cold wallet to have your more precious assets and then just transfer the necessary in order to use a hot wallet just to do those very, I don't know, transactions that you are not sure about it. So in that way, you can use both. Also, you need to understand that, for example, proxy smart contracts are not enough. I mean, it could be verified. You could have one project that it mentioned, okay, we have a verified smart contract, so you can read our code. Yeah, but if the manager of that smart contract have deployed a proxy smart contract, pretty much based on the condition of that smart contract, they can update that code. So basically, you're trusting them, right? And if it is a project that is starting, you're trusting them. So proxy smart contract is a thing to have in mind. And then, of course, a suggestion is to read smart contract, to know how to read it. Because basically with that, you will know what you're signing. Of course, that is more advanced. And then the last suggestion will be interact with verified smart contracts only. Because if not, you're blindly trusting the team behind the project. And those are pretty much the 12 security best practice. And I hope with that, you know how to keep safe. Sorry? Thank you. You were saying?
Yeah, I think the terminology here is wrong because I don't think it should be called project. So if people invest in something that is not there yet, so it's an investment project. So it needs to be defined to people that this is an investment for future, not that they get anything now. So I think a lot of people are very confused with what they actually buy and what they get, what they get right after they bought per se NFT or a token, and basically, yeah. So I think it's just the definition of projects and how they define is confusing to people that just don't know really much about the space.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is that all these three paths, the three different paths, varies on what people think about it. Some people think that a rug pull is something, and other people think it's another. If you are affected in a different way, it's another. So what I try to do here is just kind of frame it in one mental model. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I think just people don't really understand what they're actually buying. So if they buy NFT and they hope something gonna happen, but they don't understand that they buy NFT and these people maybe disappear, or maybe it's like an investment and they will see results maybe in 2 years. And that most of the cases. Or it's a social NFT or it's a sport NFT. So now it's getting better, but a lot of projects just don't really explain to people what they're actually going to get and what's the value of getting into it.
Yeah. Just to wrap that, yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and then of course
Yeah,
frame
it's-
it in the context of best security practice we can do. Well, that will be all. Thank you, guys.